interconnected.
Right.
So here's a final thought to leave you. Decentral. Okay, let's unpack this. Our mission today is a deep dive into some really crucial contributions from Muslim inventors and scholars, specifically during the Islamic Golden Age.
Right. We're talking about the 8th to the 12th centuries, roughly. And what's key here is that these weren't just, interesting ideas for the time. They were genuinely foundational.
Foundational how?
Well, they provided the actual groundwork for so much of modern science and technology. Things that directly paved the way for the later European Renaissance. You can really draw a line.
Yeah, and it's kind of striking how often we might overlook that connection. You think about core concepts, maybe the scientific method itself, or even like basic engine parts.
Exactly. And you find the origins trace back to these specific individuals. It's stuff you encounter every day, often without realizing where it started.
So where should we begin? Maybe with something visual, something ambitious.
How about flight? Abbas ibn Firnas. Around 875 CE. He wasn't just thinking about it, he actually designed and built a winged apparatus, basically an early glider.
An actual attempt.
Oh yes, launched himself in Cordoba. And get this, he was 65 years old at the time.
Wow. How'd it go?
Remarkably well, actually, for a first attempt. He apparently stayed airborne for several minutes. The issue wasn't the flying so much as the landing. It was rough.
Ah.
But the crucial part wasn't just the flight itself, it was the lesson learned. He realized afterwards that he'd missed a key component, a tail, for control and stability during landing. That realization born from failure, that's a fundamental insight for, well, all of aeronautics, isn't it?
Absolutely. A lesson learned the hard way. And he's remembered for it.
He is. There's even a crater on the moon named after him, Ibn Firnas.
That's quite a legacy. Okay, so from trying to fly, let's move to making things move on the ground. Maybe Al-Jazari, often called the father of robotics.
Yes, Al-Jazari, a brilliant engineer, 12th, 13th century. His work with mechanics was truly revolutionary, especially one specific invention.
I mean the crankshaft.
Precisely, the crankshaft. That mechanism for converting rotary motion spinning into linear motion back and forth. It seems simple now, maybe.
But it's fundamental, right?
Absolutely fundamental. Think about it. Modern engines, pumps, all kinds of machinery rely on that principle. Before the crankshaft, efficient power transmission for certain tasks was incredibly difficult. He solved a major bottleneck.
And didn't he also build some automated devices? Things that seem almost futuristic for the time.
He did. That's where the father of robotics title comes from. He designed these incredibly complex machines, often water-powered, like his famous elephant clock.
I've seen pictures of that. It looks amazing.
It was, and it was symbolic, too, integrating elements from Greek, Egyptian, Indian, and Islamic cultures. But also, he created automated humanoid figures, like servants that could serve drinks or play music.
Seriously. Automated servants back then.
Yeah. They weren't just toys, though. They were demonstrations of sophisticated mechanical principles. Programmable automation, centuries ahead of its time.
Okay, that's mind-blowing. Let's shift gears a bit from the mechanical to the intellectual framework. How we even do science.
Right. And for that, you really have to talk about Ibn al-Haytham, or Alhazen in the West, active around the year 1000.
Known as the father of modern optics, but his contribution was even broader, wasn't it?
Much broader. While his work on optics was groundbreaking, maybe his most critical contribution was pioneering the scientific method itself.
How so? What did he change?
He shifted the focus away from just abstract reasoning or relying on ancient authorities. He insisted on experimentation, on evidence, on procedures that could be repeated by others.
So, proof through testing.
Exactly. Don't just think about it, prove it. And do it in a way that someone else can follow your steps and get the same result. That's the core of modern science, really.
And he applied this to optics.
Yes, famously. He used the camera obscura, basically a dark room with a tiny hole letting light in, to study vision.
And what did he find?
He used it to prove definitively that vision happens when light rays travel from an object into the eye. It sounds obvious to us now, maybe.
But it wasn't then.
No. The prevailing theory before him, going back to the Greeks, was that the eye itself emitted rays to see things. He overturned that completely through careful experiments, and his work heavily influenced later figures like Kepler and Newton.
Wow. Okay, methodology, optics. Wait, what about chemistry?
For that, we look earlier to Jabir ibn Hayyan, around the 8th and 9th centuries, often called the father of chemistry.
What makes him the father?
Again, it's the emphasis on a systematic experimental approach. He stressed precise measurement and careful observation in the lab. He wasn't just mixing things, he was trying to understand the processes.
Did he invent any key tools or discover anything specific?
Oh, absolutely. He's credited with perfecting or even inventing the alembic. That's the apparatus used for distillation, still fundamental in labs today.
Distillation.
Yeah.
For purifying liquids.
Exactly, which was crucial not just for chemistry, but also for preparing pure substances for medicine, for pharmacology. He also prepared key acids like hydrochloric and nitric acid for the first time, foundational stuff for any lab work.
So we have flight, mechanics, methodology, chemistry. But where did all this learning happen? Where was it shared and built upon?
That brings us to institutional innovation and a remarkable woman, Fatima El-Fihri.
Tell us about her.
Around 859 CE in Fez, Morocco, she used her personal inheritance to found a mosque complex, which included what would become the University of Al-Qarawiyyin.
A university founded by a woman in the 9th century.
Yes. And it wasn't just a university. It's recognized by UNESCO, by Guinness World Records, as the oldest existing, continually operating, degree-awarding educational institution in the world.
Still operating today.
Still operating today. Think about that. Nearly 1,200 years of continuous operation. It's an incredible legacy of creating infrastructure for knowledge.
That's truly profound. So bringing this all together, these 5 individuals are just, suppose, examples.
Exactly. They represent a much broader flourishing during the Islamic Golden Age. But their specific contributions laid down these essential tracks in mechanics, in flight concepts, in scientific method, chemistry, and even in how we educate people that later global progress absolutely relied on.
So the takeaway for you, listening, is that this history isn't just abstract.
Not at all. Every time you start a car engine, you're using Al-Jazari's crankshaft concept. Every time science relies on verifiable evidence, that echoes Ibn al-Haytham. When you think about higher education as an institution...
You're touching Fatima El-Fihri's legacy. It's all interconnected.
Right.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Considering the incredible longevity of something like Al-Qarawiyyin University or the enduring utility of the crankshaft, what current innovation, maybe something in digital education, or perhaps decentralized science platforms, do you think might still be around and fundamentally shaping how we learn or discover things 1,200 years from now? Something to consider.